Good morning, and welcome back to another vlog, guys. It is Monday, brand new week, middle of April here. Had a great morning of team stand-ups for all my teams and businesses, just really dialing in on like what the plan is today and this week. A lot of things are happening. About to pick up another old client of ours coming back to us, opening up 2 sales roles, which is great because we did an amazing placement with him last month. We found a rock star for him. We do have a final round happening today, and this is pretty crazy because it's a senior software engineer role. And he also has pressure from another company that's like, hey man, like I need you to make a decision and accept our offer, and really pushing him aggressively, and they want a decision today. And so ideally when this happens, like I instructed the candidate to tell this other company to chill, to push it back. You know, he's pushed it back before, but like it's a competitive market, and if you're really good, you should have the respect to at least finish any other processes that you want. And so that's happening, but I'm also really guiding him to hopefully crush it with our client today. So he had a final round, and then I also let my client know like, hey, he's getting pressure from this other company. Ideally he needs to make a decision today. And so what they're able to do is they had this final round, then they stacked a chat with the founder, and then they stacked the chat with the HR back to back. So if everything goes well, hoping that we can have an offer, a competing offer. I'm about to hop on the phone with them in a couple hours from now to do a process call to see exactly like how he feels, where he stands, any red flags. This is gonna be a tight one. It's gonna be a tight one. So like this other company has a stronger offer in terms of financial package, but he likes our client better. And so that's always better, right? So if I can get him to the offer, get the offer up as much as possible, and hopefully close him, this would literally be an amazing way to start April, an amazing way to start the week, right? So huge deal. I think we're looking at like $250,000 for his salary. We got him in, I think, 18 to 20% on the client side. So yeah, this could easily be like another $50,000 to $60,000 deal. So eyes on the prize there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 interviews happening right now. Most of them are round 2 to the 3rd stage or beyond. So a lot of good mid-stage interviews that are simmering, which is great. So they're gonna keep the pressure on there, but just did a bunch of work here. Going to actually go down, stretch my legs, do a quick little 30-40 minute workout before the rest of the day. So let's go get our sweat on. All right, did a quick workout. Peloton is my new favorite cardio. Aside from running, got some free weights, got some mats. It's been a good day so far. Good half-hour workout, back to work. Oh man, I am stressed. So I just did a process call with our candidate. So he's an exceptional software engineer, currently making about $280,000 a year. He does have another competing offer right now, and that's at $265,000, but he likes our client better, right? Better work-life balance, better growth opportunities, better bonus. And speaking of a bonus and financials, our client, the downside, can't match the financial package of this competing offer, but he's okay. So the competing offer is $265,000, and he's like, hey, if your client can come up to like $250,000 or around there, and I get the offer, everything looks great, fingers crossed, we can kind of get the job done. So we'll see what happens. I think, like, you know, he just did his final, he just talked to the CEO co-founder, he also just talked to HR. Now we're kind of in the waiting game, but I really hope that we can get an offer here. No better way to start a new week and get this done. It's never great to talk to someone that has a competing offer, but it's always better in that scenario for that candidate to rank your client numero uno. And so if an offer happens, it sounded like it went well, no big red flags. I'm hoping. I'm getting signals from the client that they really like my candidate. I'm getting signals from the candidate that he continues to really like my client. So we'll just see what happens. I went ahead and pinged the client, and I texted the candidate. Now we're kind of in a waiting game to see what truly happens. So now I'm gonna shift gears, got a bunch more meetings, gonna do a little bit more sourcing for myself. I still run a full desk if you're wondering, and a bunch more interviews a little bit later today. So we'll see what happens, and we'll do our best. Oh my God. Ugh. Can't take this anymore. Just found out that the client rejected our candidate based off of lack of communication, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, what kind of weak cross-functional communication skills? Everything else was amazing. They also mentioned that he was looking for their highest salary band, but I also let them know that he was open to consider something that was lower, but I can't believe they rejected him. And then what makes it even worse is a part of me was still okay because we had a plan B. We had another candidate who did another final round yesterday at the same company, because I never obviously rely on just one candidate, and that guy got rejected too. Just lost like another possible massive deal. Oh gosh. Man, never gets old. Never gets old, never. This feeling just you never get used to it. I genuinely feel sad for the candidate because I thought he was a really good fit. He really wanted to join our client. I'm going to try to go back to the client and see if they can reconsider in any way, but my God, like, tough pill to swallow. And it's so competitive out there, and you know, with recruiting, if one thing is wrong, you know, and a lot of it can be luck, a lot of it can be subjective, and aside from just the hard skills, if somehow someone rubs the person the wrong way or says the wrong things or anything like that, oh my gosh. So back to the drawing board. I think we still have a couple people in process there, but man, that was rough. That was really rough. We're gonna keep it going and do our best and keep going and make this day hopefully better with some better news. So we'll see. All right, we got some good news coming to this day here. We got a possible final round. This is with the members in our Recruiter Vault, our splits community, where they did an awesome job finding the candidates and we went ahead and submitted them. Possible final rounds. She did a case study, presented to the team. The team loved her. They're inviting her to a lunch today, which is a great sign. And they also asked for references. So now I'm going to be working closely with the recruiter who submitted the candidate, prep them, making sure we're keeping the process tight. So hopefully we can kind of shut this down. This is for a strategy and operations role. This is about 18% fee. Salary goes up to about 200K. So that's really great news. We also just got word that we have another software engineer heading to a final round, I think this week or next week, with another client. So going to be doing the same thing there, keeping the process tight. And we have a lot of interview processes right now, a lot of them early, but a lot of them mid stages, simmering very consistently. And each day it's all about like, hey, auditing our pipeline, which clients are working well, which clients are moving fast, which are moving slow, and prioritizing the ones that are urgent, that are the most billable, so that we can kind of continue focusing, making our efforts consistent. So even though that we started this video off with some hard-hitting news, there's always good news right around the corner. You just gotta show up and never give up. And so my priority for the rest of the week is gonna be really kind of keeping that tight. Strategy and ops candidate seems to be the furthest along, so that's really on my radar right now to make sure that any concerns, any red flags, all of them are addressed. She's pumped, they're pumped about her, uncover any red flags, obstacles that she may have. So hopefully if an offer comes out, it's a smooth process to handle. But other than that, we got, I think, probably like 15-ish interviews happen this week, which is good. I like to kind of see that closer to 20, 25, and a lot of them again through early and mid round. So far so good. About to head off into our coaching call, which I do with our clients at the Recruiter School. These are business owners that are aggressively growing and scaling profitable businesses. So I do client calls with them twice a week where we go over really anything. And I would say the highlight and the theme for the past 30 days has really been about AI on both the client and candidate side, really talking about new tools that we're uncovering, how to free up even more time so us recruiters can focus on things that we actually want to focus on, closing clients, closing candidates, and making money. So gonna be doing this real quick and then continue with the day.
All right, good morning. This is the gym for the day. Gonna run a little bit and but check out this background. Made to Sedona. Beautiful. All right, good run, 2 miles. Crazy because like 2 months ago, just running a mile would be impossible. But anyway, have a quick update. So we have an offer with our candidate from another competing company. She had a wonderful lunch with the team yesterday, and I just pinged the founder today, and I'm hoping to get an answer from them as soon as possible. Right now, it's all about the timing, and we're on a time crunch right now. The other company gave my candidate an offer deadline to decide. Today's Friday till next Wednesday, which gives us a little bit of time, but I'm hoping that my client wants to move forward. But the situation is though, the candidate's other offer was $240 cash, that's about $220 base with a 10% bonus. My client can't go higher than 200, and they've been pretty firm on that in the past, which is not a good sign. But the silver lining of that is that the candidate told me that she ranks my client number one. Money isn't everything as long as the gap's not too big. So a little bit nerve-wracking to manage all this while running, but now it's a waiting game, which I hate because I'm very impatient. So we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. But we have 2 more final rounds getting scheduled for next week. Things are happening. So gonna get some breakfast real quick, go back to my room, do some meetings with the team, crank out some calls, end the week off strong. Keep you updated. All right, got some tomato, feta, egg white frittatas. This is the hotel we're staying at right now. This is the Residence Inn Courtyard Marriott in Sedona. So far, been a really interesting place to stay, but also super comfortable, fairly new. Got a hot tub right there, gonna check that out. And yeah, gonna fire pit. Just gonna enjoy this. Bell Rock climb. It is absolutely beautiful out here. All right, just came back, had a wonderful day, got some good Mexican food, did some good hiking. But a little update before I turn down for the evening. So my candidate got another offer. We let our client know. We waited almost the whole day, and the founder finally emailed back saying, hey, we are just as excited in your candidate as well, which is fantastic. And he said, let me touch base with my team. I'll get back to you earliest today, Friday, or latest Monday, which is not ideal because I'd rather let my candidate know some sort of news before the weekend, but at least I heard back from the client, and at least it sounds positive. So now it's kind of have a waiting game. I need to work and manage the candidate to make sure that she remains excited. And if we have to push back the other offer as much as possible, but we will do whatever we can to hopefully get an offer out and to negotiate at the most lucrative package that we can, advocating truly for our candidates. So that's on our mind right now, but we also have, I think, 2 other possible final rounds next week as well, and had a lot of great meetings and chats with all our different teams on the consulting side, our recruiting agency side, even our tech side as well, slowly kind of building it out. And I think in terms of tech and software, ever a part of you aspires to build it, I think the biggest thing is get it out to market faster than you think. I think a lot of people would spend way too much time and money trying to build what they think is the perfect product, only to go to market, can't get any sales, all that effort goes to waste. And so the biggest thing is get as much feedback as you can. Try to figure out your distribution strategy first and really put out a scrappy V1 and be obsessed with feedback, and then operate like a lean startup where we iterate based on feedback. We'll balance that out with the constant feedback of new improvements, new features, while making sure that we continue to build our core pillars based on like a North Star of our software. So that's kind of the stage that we're in right now, just trying to get feedback, trying to remove myself from it, even though I myself is the product's ideal user and customer. Just want to put my own personal objectives aside and really try to be as unbiased as possible. And the best way to do that is let people who don't even know who you are use your product and listen to them and respect what they say. So that's been a huge learning curve, and it's been fantastic so far. But now we also, as you can see, I'm no longer home, I'm in a hotel. We are visiting Sedona here in Arizona for the weekend, and gonna be enjoying the weekend. And gonna document a little bit more with you, but excited to come into next week, hoping to finalize the offer and get it done. Good morning. Look at that. That's Thunder Mountain over there. Good morning. It is Monday morning. Had a wonderful weekend here in Sedona, Arizona. Actually leaving back today and just doing a little morning hike before I get back to my calls and meetings, before we drive back home. But wanted to give you a quick update with the offer that's happening. So actually heard back from the founder this morning. It sounds great. He's like, team's excited, and he's gonna get in touch with the candidate to discuss hopefully next steps. And the candidate does have another offer. It's coming in at $220 base plus 10% bonus. That's $240 cash, another $200K plus with equity. So this is still gonna be a lot higher than the ideal ceiling for my client. So it's gonna really be interesting to see how negotiations play out. But I want to keep the vlog going because this offer is still alive. So whether it goes through or not, I will keep recording and shooting so I can keep you updated every step of the way. And when an offer does come out, one of the worst things is an offer comes out on a Friday, and from a recruiter's point of view, it's the worst because you have to wait all weekend to see what happens with the offer, whether it goes through, whether it doesn't go through, whether the candidate accepts, negotiates, or rejects. I'm a very impatient person, so getting an offer pre-weekend and waiting during the weekend and coming back after the weekend, not great for me. But it is Monday, I'm alive, we're getting some good signals, and we'll see what happens. The candidate is gonna touch base with the client. The client's trying to do a little investigative with me, asking me like more information about, hey, who's the other company? What was the previous comps? Unfortunately, the candidate doesn't outright share that with us. We don't have the info, so I'm gonna just do whatever I can to get this happen. So keep you updated. We also have one more update. So we also had another final round on site on Friday, and depending on how that goes, we we might be coming into another possible offer territory this week as well. So a lot of stuff happening, and that's one of the coolest things about recruiting. You know, we're working with some of the best operators, executives, the best talent out there. And if I'm traveling, right, I have to manage everything while you're on the road, which is exciting, never gets boring. So we'll be happy if one of these closes, or multiple, fingers crossed, see what happens. Hey guys, it is now kind of end of the week, and we just got back obviously from Sedona. Had a full work day and a full work week, and no real just updates for this offer, which is unfortunate because I was kind of hoping that by Monday or Tuesday this would have closed. What happened is the offer went out, and then the candidate apparently got really sick, and giving her the benefit of the doubt, and I know a lot of people are getting sick right now. I hope that she feels better, but she let me know that she got sick, I think on Tuesday, and I'm like, cool. I was gonna plan on talking to her by Tuesday, having her back. So I'm like, let's push it back to Wednesday. She's like, I'm still feeling sick. Thursday, still feeling sick. And I know like when you're sick, unless like you're deathly ill, and I hope that she's not, that's totally fine, understandable. I wanna be empathetic. But I also know that from recruiting for a long time kills. And when you're in an offer and a candidate's taking their time, or the candidate is tough to get in touch with, that's never a good sign, right? Especially knowing that the candidate also has another offer, that there's a high chance they're negotiating on both sides. They're playing kind of like a bidding war. And usually I don't really like that. I really like to just be very hands-on with my candidates every single step, understanding like, are there any blockers? Are there any red flags? Are there any obstacles? So my spidey sense is telling me this is not great. Now, I'm still waiting, haven't heard back. We're probably gonna end up finishing this week here. I don't want this video to continue to go. I'll keep you updated with the next vlog. But a lot of recruiting is like this, right? We do our best to find the right person, to put them together. A lot of offers do happen very smooth, like fast, smooth, easy. But a lot of offers are also just kind of like this, where you're just waiting and you're stuck in limbo. And it's never a fun feeling, you know, whether you're doing this for a day or, 10 years, it's just never a fun feeling, honestly. We're gonna see what happens. Fingers crossed, gonna have to, I don't know, pray to the universe that it goes our way, because this could be a really big one. If not, if it doesn't go, we're back to square one. Well, actually, we're not back to square one. We still have 2 people in processes, which is great. So we always have a plan B and a plan C, but it would be great to just shut this down once and for all, because it's a really good role. And I would just love nothing more than to close it, have another deal. And I think the past month, our agency, we just lost like 4 final rounds offers in a row, which is insane, which also happens, guys, in recruiting, like with any business. As long as I've been doing this, I've made a lot of money, I've done a lot of placements, but I also lost way more, you know? And I think what makes me and high performance different is we learn from it and we just get back up and we keep doing it over and over again. I used to be a lot more emotional. I used to feel sorry for myself, but like no one cares about you. The market doesn't care, the clients don't care, the world doesn't care. It's up to us to stand back up and keep trucking, eat the loss, learn from it, get better, get smart, and back at it. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I was kind of hoping to kind of finish this video here with a win, but just trying to be transparent as much as possible and show you the wins and losses. And we have a lot of other simmering fires here, picking up new roles with new and old clients, and just gonna keep pushing, so doing the best that we can. But appreciate you if you've made it this far. Let me know what part of the video you like, and we'll see you on the next one.